Hello friends, I am Dr. Deepak Garg. I am working as consultant and head orthopedic surgery at Delhi Heart Institute and Multi-Speciality Hospital, Bathinda, Punjab. And today we are going to talk about a very common condition in the society, and that is osteoporosis. So this is a weakening of the bone as our age progresses. So there are mainly three main parameters that are affected in osteoporosis. One is bone mass will become low. Second, the bony architecture will become weak. That means the bone is made up of multiple fiber-like structures. They are called trabeculae. The trabeculae will become weak. And the third is bone will become fragile. And a fragile bone can fracture at any time. So if we talk in general, usually we will not have any fracture if we fall from a standing height. But in osteoporosis, if you fall from a standing height, then also you can have a fracture. So this is a condition where patient will present to the OPD directly with a fracture. So this is a very serious condition which should be acknowledged. The most common fracture that we get in osteoporosis is the lumbar spine fracture. The second most common fracture are the hip fracture, and then we can have fractures in the wrist and shoulder region, sometimes in the ribs also. So we have to diagnose the disease and we should try to prevent the fractures that can happen in the future. So there are screening guidelines for this condition. We should screen each and everyone who is aged more than 70 years. So the screening tool for osteoporosis is DEXA scan. So we should get DEXA scan in every individual whose age is more than 70 years. And in post-menopausal women age more than 65 years, even if there is no symptom, we should screen for osteoporosis, and the screening tool is DEXA scan. If patient has some conditions like diabetes mellitus, patient is a chronic alcoholic, chronic smoker, patient is taking steroids for long term, then also we should screen the patient for osteoporosis. So in in DEXA scan, we get a T-score. If T-score is less than -2.5, then this is a diagnosis for osteoporosis. And if the T-score is between -1 to -2.5, then this is called osteopenia. So once we screen the patient, we have the T-score, then we calculate the fracture risk. So there are various parameters that will tell us about the risk of fracture in the future. One, we have already got the T-score, which is very much related to future fracture prediction. Another is age of the patient, comorbid condition of the patient like diabetes, habits of the patient like alcoholic, smoking, long-term chronic steroid intake, other drugs which can cause osteoporosis like patients on anti-seizure drugs. So these are the conditions which should be assessed, and if the patient score is less than -1, we should start the patient on therapy for osteoporosis. If the score is less than -1, this is osteopenia, and we start the prophylactic dose of bisphosphonates. And the prophylactic dose of bisphosphonates is, we start, the most common drug is alendronate. We start 35 mg per week, and we can continue this drug for 5 years. And if the score is less than -2.5, this is diagnostic of osteoporosis. And if we diagnose osteoporosis, we start the full dose. And the full dose is, if we start alendronate, we start 70 mg per week, and we can continue this for 5 years. Or we can start risedronate. The dose is 150 mg. This is 1 per month, and we can continue this for 5 years. And if we can give IV drugs also, IV we give zoledronic acid, which we give as 4.5 mg in 100 ml of NS for 15 minutes, and we give every yearly, and we can continue this safely for 3 years. So this is the initial therapy for osteoporosis. So there are various other options that we have we have anabolic drugs like injection parathyroid hormone or recombinant PTH derivatives. And another options we have very commonly available in the market is denosumab. So, but initial therapy is always is bisphosphonates. We should always start with the bisphosphonates, and if it is osteopenia, there is no role of PTH or denosumab. If it is osteoporosis, severe osteoporosis, then also always our first line therapy or our initial therapy is bisphosphonates. If there is a contraindication to bisphosphonates, like if there is a hypocalcemia or if there is a impairment of the renal function, then we can start the other options like injection PTH or injection denosumab. If we talk about the combination therapy, whether we should start the PTH and bisphosphonates together, or we should start bisphosphonates plus denosumab together, so there is no satisfactory data to suggest that the combined effect of the combination therapy is better than the monotherapy. So it is advisable that we can continue with bisphosphonate therapy if there is no contraindication. But if there is a severe osteoporosis, like T-score is minus less than equal to -3 with fracture, or if there is already an osteoporotic fracture, then we can consider injection PTH. Again, combination therapy is not very much beneficial. We can continue the bisphosphonates after discontinuation of the injection PTH. So PTH we give 20 microgram per day subcutaneous for 1.5 years, and then we can continue with the bisphosphonates. If we talk about the injection denosumab, it is given subcutaneous, and the dose is 60 mg subcutaneous. We give 6 monthly injection. The safety profile is for 10 years. If we start denosumab, we should counsel the patient that this drug will be continued for life. Otherwise, when we will stop the injection denosumab, the effect will wean off very fast and the bone will become osteoporotic very soon. So the fracture risk will become very high. So we will have to continue some drug which will prevent this weakening of the bone, for example bisphosphonates. So starting a denosumab is dicey, and we should know that we will have to continue some other anti-osteoporotic drug after we will stop the denosumab injection. So if we talk about the comparison in bisphosphonates versus denosumab, so it is shown that the both are equally effective, but the safety profile of denosumab is not there after 10 years, and we know that if we will stop the drug, it will lose its effect very fast and bone will become very weak very soon. So we will be cautious when we will start the injection denosumab. So there are other drugs also like nasal calcitonin, which have not shown very much effect in the trials, so not used very commonly. So this was about today's topic, that is osteoporosis. So if we talk about the summary, so we know that this patient with this disease will present with a fracture, and we can easily screen the patient for osteoporosis if the female post-menopausal age more than 65 years or any male age more than 70 years. We should always screen with a DEXA scan, and we should always try to diagnose the disease. If the score is less than equal to -1 to -2.5, then it is osteopenia. This is also an indication to start the prophylactic treatment for osteoporosis. If the score is less than equal to -2.5, then this is a osteoporosis, and we should start the proper treatment, and the treatment will usually continue for at least 5 years. Then monitoring of the patient should be done maybe yearly or 2 yearly basis with a DEXA scan to see whether our treatment is working or not. So this was about osteoporosis. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and share this video as much as possible to your colleagues and to your friends, so that everyone will be aware about the disease osteoporosis. So thank you guys, thank you very much.